All right, welcome back everyone to this installment of our Bad Batch review. This week we are doing episodes 5, 6, and 7. We pushed off recording just a little bit to get the next episode in, and oh boy, are we glad that we did. It's a banger. So yeah, episodes 5, 6, and 7. A brief rundown of what those were, spoiler free, hopefully. Episode 5, they went on some sort of recovery mission. That's all that was, recovery mission. Episode 6, they went on some sort of recovery mission. That's all that was. That was a recovery mission. So, episode 7, surgery.
Those are extremely brief
There you
synopsises.
go. Did they get the mission in episode 5 from Sid? The very first one? Was that also from
Yes.
Sid?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so they went and they were, I forget why they were going. They went to Sid, but
They went to Sid to find out about the bounty hunter.
they found this person underbelly of kind of like the society, and they just started getting put on missions. So they went on a recovery mission for this person named Sid, who is actually a lady, to go recover something. They assumed it was a slave child in a slaver planet, and it turned out it was a baby rancor, which was absolutely hilarious. I saw it coming, but I loved it. I think I rewinded and rewatched Wrecker's wrestling with the rancor
I
because
think
of
my
how good it
favorite
was.
part was he's losing his touch.
So that was fun. Episode 6, they came back and they were like, "We've got another mission for you." I kind of zoned out on this episode. It had something to do with the tactician droid. They went to go recover essentially the head, the memory of a
Yeah.
battle tactician droid. I don't remember why, but they went and they failed because there was other people there trying to get it.
The only reason why is because they were told to.
Yeah,
That
these
was it.
5 and 6 didn't really have much substance to them in form of plot development for the Bad Batch. I do have to say one of my favorite voice actors was in episode 5. Episode 6, the only significant thing that came through is that Wrecker's headache has not gone away, and it sort of became a big thing. That like mid battle, he's all of a sudden like, "Oh no, my head." And he even says, like, murmurs something under his breath. It's like good soldiers. And that's kind of flips a switch in the viewers where, oh no, it's happening here too. And then episode 7, we get the return of a long lost, not really long lost, a fan favorite character, Captain Rex. He seeks them out. That was fun. Did he know it was them, or did he just hear it was a band of clones?
No, he knew it was them.
I think it was a mix of he knew it and he kind of would have guessed it either way, especially from all the
Yeah.
tendencies that
I
he's
mean,
heard
in
about.
when
He's
you
like, eh,
yeah, when you describe this group of clones, it's pretty distinguishable.
That's
yeah,
fair.
just a little bit.
We learned that Rex has already had his inhibitor chip out,
Which you learn in final season.
which
I
I
mean,
did not know. I was like, "Whoa, how did that
I know,
happen?"
but they actually
I knew that
so
one.
that's where I'll chime in. All that is revealed in the final season.
Yeah, so how much stuff did like they put in there that was from the final season of the Clone Wars?
So they included a lot. So the reason why he's sort of like on edge when he finds out their inhibitor chips aren't removed is because of the final season.
Gotcha.
Because when y'all remember Tex said he's listed as dead, killed in action, KIA.
Yeah.
Well, it's because Ahsoka is there for Order 66. Rex does the whole good soldiers follow orders. She escapes for a little bit, and then she traps him, knocks him out, and then has a surgical droid take the inhibitor chip out. And he goes back to normal Rex. Well, it turns out the rest of the ship isn't, as friendly. So Captain Rex and Ahsoka killed Jesse and all of the 501st clones that were with her by literally plummeting the ship into the earth with Maul's help, because Maul destroyed the generator and basically went on a killing rampage, sort of almost as cool as Darth Vader.
I mean, doesn't isn't that all he ever does in the first place?
The way they filmed it, though, it looked like a pure Darth Vader scene.
I have
Third
to
Literally.
admit, I
episode 4.
have picked up the Clone Wars again from where I left off, which was season 4.
Yeah.
Because of this, it's got me wanting to get back into it. So maybe I'll get to the end of it.
But yeah, so he's like, and plus him and Ahsoka buried every single clone that they could recover from the wreckage into, I wouldn't say a mass grave because they all have their individual, but they make a cemetery by the end of the
Yeah, he
season.
just
Now-
looks like a broken soldier.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's why Rex is so like, y'all haven't removed your inhibitor chips? I don't care if you're special or not. I'll knock y'all out here.
I mean, the name of the episode is Battle Scars.
Yeah, exactly.
Been through
So
something.
and so that's why Rex is so die hard to get them out because he knows like, I mean, okay, granted, when final season happened, Ahsoka wasn't technically a Jedi by all legal rights because she left the Order and X, Y, and Z,
Mhm.
but the clones still registered her as a Jedi,
Oh,
even for the fact of she's no longer with the Order or anything.
I mean, didn't they also hunt down some of the remaining Siths in the as well?
Exactly. So
I didn't know she left the order.
Well, I think that happens in
sorry.
six.
Fine.
Yeah, Ahsoka leaves the Order for very good reasons. mind
Yeah,
you.
it
Very
doesn't
good
get
reason.
explained until much later on, which I
Yeah.
missed. Right, I got off right before it got explained.
Well, I mean, her like immediate reasons for leaving were pretty obvious because of what happened, and
Yeah.
Andrew, you'll find this out. But later on, she has more reasons, but just the immediate reason why she left is pretty understandable. Yeah, it's kind of super sad, especially seeing Rex post incident and how like
Yeah.
he's so on edge about everything, which obviously in episode 7 he has even like a perfect example of why he's so get your inhibitor chips out now.
Yes.
Yeah. So they go through this big ordeal of trying to get these inhibitor chips out. They travel to another planet where it's a giant ship junkyard in order to act. Was that the same ship? Are you assuming it's the same ship?
No, it's not. Yeah, the planet they crashed on was basically a frozen wasteland. Fun fact: Braca, the planet they went to, is actually based off the Jedi the Fallen Order game. That's the very
Really?
first planet you start at.
Yeah.
Yeah, Braca.
I love that game. I've played it like twice.
Yeah, so Braca.
I haven't played it yet. I've been wanting to. I just haven't had the time.
Yeah, so that is like the very first planet you start on that game. So I thought that was a fun move.
Junkyard planet.
Exactly.
So they go and they find this medic building. Wrecker's kind of struggling the whole way. And then right before they start, it just kind of flips on and he just goes into battle mode and saying these like lines and just he goes after the clones because they are in direct treason of Order 66. And anyone who is in direct treason of Order 66 must be terminated. So he's going after all of them. And because of his strength, it's very difficult to stop him. They end up stopping him, of course. Omega plays a part in that. And they put him under and they get the chips out and they get the chips out of everyone. And it's successful and it's a nice happy ending. And then Rex goes off on his own. Was that sort of like there's still stuff I need to do?
Yeah, so I think this is where he starts branching off and grabbing other clones as he does. Because if you watch Rebels, you know he finds
Mhm.
Gregor and Wolf. So I think that may be one of the few he grab and help out.
Okay. And then at the very end, we get the zoom binoculars from some of the junkers, the Scrappers Guild. Scrappers
Yes.
Guild. And then it's kind of just, we found them, send word to the people. And so the hunt continues. That's where it kind of leaves off. Do we know how many episodes this is? Hold on, I'm going to find out.
I'm not exact. I want to say 13, but I'm probably way off.
I don't see this being 13 episodes for one season.
Checking. There's going to be 16.
Oh, I was actually low.
Okay, I was expecting like 20, but
So then my biggest fear with that is a lot of that's probably going to be filler.
yeah,
That's
I-
like
I
my
feel like-
biggest worry.
I feel like season 2 is going to be where it starts picking up on story a lot more.
Yeah, especially since this episode sort of just shot my theory out the
Yeah, it
window,
kind
ran
of-
it over with the semi, and then burned it with the flaming warper.
Yeah, it kind of condensed what they could do with this story, or what we think they could do with this story.
Yeah, it took out a lot of routes I was thinking it could go, but I mean, it still left a few open. Like maybe they can get Crosshair still or whatnot, but it's just one of those things. Like I wish they kind of left them in,
Yeah.
just for the simple fact of what they could do with it. But who knows? Who knows?
Or it would just be too difficult for them to take out, so they would have to leave it in and find a new facility that could
Or
take
yeah,
them
not
out.
even that. Just maybe like nullify the effects a little bit more, just in
Yeah.
case.
Technically, they probably could get Crosshair under, wrestle him down, knock him out, take the chip out.
The thing is getting to Crosshair because he's a long distance fighter.
And not only
So
that, he's training his own basically hit squad now, so it's gonna make it a little bit harder.
We haven't seen Crosshair in 1, 2, 3, like
4
4 episodes
Yeah.
since
Yeah, I'm
episode.
kind of curious on what's going on. With it.
I kind of hope like the next 1 or 2 episodes are just Crosshair focused. That would be kind of nice.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's a hunt with Crosshair in them now, especially since the Scrappers Guild did call the Empire, and they're like
Fair point.
intruders.
They called the Empire, yeah, not the bounty
Yeah.
hunters.
Yeah, so maybe Crosshair Special Forces group comes in and plays a little game of cat and mouse.
Now at about the halfway point, not about the well, we're close to the halfway point. Do you
Yeah,
guys
close
think
enough.
that it's gonna be renewed for a second season?
It really depends on the route they take.
It depends
Yeah,
on where it ends, yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the last like 4 or 5 episodes.
If it ends with the ending of like they win, they beat Crosshair, or they escape or they're just assumed dead by the Empire, and they break off, they're no longer the Bad Batch.
I don't think they'll break off. I think it'll just be more of a we're going dark kind of thing. Like we're going to do some simple missions. We're going to join a mercenary guild or something. Just
Mhm.
lay low.
If
Um,
anything, when they pick up on the next season, it might be more focused on Omega as the main character
Yeah.
instead of Hunter.
Well, I mean, I kind of
So-
feel like it's already revolving more around even Omega more than Hunter already.
Yeah, I mean,
It's-
yes, but
It's Omega's the main focus, but we're not following Omega's perspective. We're
Yeah.
following Hunter's perspective,
yeah, so
but
I
it's
think
centered
that
on
could be
Omega.
how they pick up season 2, following her perspective.
Maybe.
But it could. I think the best way to do that would either have a year or 2 gap in the storyline.
We got another glimpse of her presumed enhanced awareness, with how she was able to pick up that Rex was first generation in a couple seconds.
Oh,
I mean-
that is right.
I suppose, but since she worked on Camino for so long, telling the difference between clones, I don't think would be that difficult for her.
Well, you also got to think about it this way. Generation 1 basically got wiped really quick
Fair
because
point.
they weren't as fresh or as new as the newer generation. So she probably had less and less cases of those than the newer set of clones.
Or they were way before her.
Yeah. So I mean,
Well,
yeah,
they
she
were
could have had
definitely way
generation.
before her.
Yeah. I mean, she could have met like quite a few Generation 1 clones and sort of picked up on the subtle hints, but it just
But as a young girl,
Well, she also said it was mostly the structure of his body or facial
lines in his
structure
face.
that really defined. I guess it was because he has some of the strongest genes.
that could be a very good. And not only that, maybe a little bit of the age, because if my memory serves right, some like when clones get to a certain age, they start aging like
Yeah.
really fast.
Yeah.
So maybe she saw some of those subtle hints of like wrinkles or stuff, started like hinting at he's the older generation model. I hate to say model because he's a person, but it's one of those things.
Well, when you build them in a test tube, he's kind of a model, I guess.
Yeah.
So I've got a question that I don't know if has been answered either in the show or here. Why do the members of the Bad Batch look different from normal clones? And not like stylistically, like I get that Hunter grew out his hair, but if you shaved his hair, he'd look like Rex.
Yeah.
Wrecker, if I guess he laid off the steroids, he'd look, and minus the scar, he'd look like Rex. But then we have like,
Crosshair
gotta
and
mute my Alexa again. If we have like Echo and Crosshair and Tech, yeah, Tech, like
Well,
they
Echo-
do not look like The base.
Echo is mostly because of the explosion, I would think.
Yeah, so they also cover that in the final season of how Echo became what he was,
Yeah.
which is kind of like disturbing on many levels, but
It's Star Wars.
yeah, it's Star Wars. Like I said, Andrew, you'll find more about what he went through because
Yeah.
Lord have mercy on his soul. No, so the reason they're so different is because yes, one, they are an experiment model. They're based around certain genes for certain reasons. And due to those genes, like why Wrecker's so big, well, they enhance on his physical strength. And
I'm thinking more like the face. Like if you look at like the other clones when they take off their helmet, they all look like the base model.
yeah,
The different styles that they adopt is how you tell them apart. But like Tech's face and Crosshair's face look completely different.
and that's what I was gonna say. It's due to those genetic mutations why they when they picked certain genes or they did certain enhancements, it altered their appearance.
Gotcha. Okay, so they were mixing in genes of mixing in or altering genes of other.
I wouldn't say mixing, I would say emphasizing on certain genes.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Because to me, Hunter and Wrecker still look like the base model, but then like Tech does not whatsoever. He looks like a middle-aged dad who's worked in
That's fair.
a computer all his life.
Yeah, no, it's all based on their genetic modeling.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just another aspect of their experimentation. We knew Rex was coming from the trailer, from what I know. Is there any
There's
other?
supposed to be quite a few other appearances by other people.
Yeah, what are we anticipating?
If I remember right, Ahsoka's going to be in here eventually. I may be wrong. I probably am, but who knows? I could have swore I saw her, but like I said, I think there was like one or two other people. I think Saul Guerrero is supposed to show up again. And then I honestly don't know other than that. Maybe a few more appearances by Rex because he said you need help, call them, or vice versa. So
Yeah.
So Omega got a bow. Where did she get that?
I think it was episode.
It was episode 5. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
the Rancor thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was the slavers on the slaver planet. That was one of the weapons they used.
Yeah.
Right? And so she picked it up just on that mission. And she's been getting trained on how to use it. One of the comical scenes is that she's just struggling and she hit the target 3 out of 10 times, but that's just luck. And then Sid comes up and just 1, 2, 3s it, mentions that she needs to get stronger. But then, and that comes up later in the mission to get the tactician droid, where she's just not strong enough to hold the bow. But now she's using it like fluidly. So now she's of combat use.
I think in like if they do season 2 a year or 2 after season 1, I think she would be a great character.
Honestly, I think she can go like a bounty hunter route. I really think,
Yeah.
especially after learning from every single person in that group,
Mm-hmm.
and then the whole bow thing making her unique. I really think she's going to be like a catcher alive kind of bounty hunter.
Yeah. Which would be honestly really cool to watch.
Yeah, but that's just my personal ideal.
Yeah.
Because that would be an interesting season 2 right there, honestly.
It would be. And I hope that's really the only option that we can think of right now, since they just got rid of
The inhibitor chips and all.
exactly.
Which shot my freaking Imperial theory out the window.
Which
I'm so sad about.
which also shot the option because she even said she doesn't have an inhibitor chip.
Yeah, because she was just a medical unit. She had no combat ability. Well, she
Exactly.
wasn't supposed to have any combat ability, just straight medical and
Which leads to the question of why exactly was she created then? What was she supposed to be examining or
it's
Fun.
Kaminoans, honestly. They do all kinds of crap.
fair enough.
The 5 and 6 were very, very basic filler.
Yeah.
7 was big plot stuff.
So we can only hope that it continues to go up.
I feel like 8's gonna be another filler one.
I don't know.
All right,
if
dogs are
it's
going crazy.
online.
I feel like 8 has the potential. It looks like it's leading into just another just on the run episode.
Probably. Yeah. Well, they
Or-
have to pay off Sid before they.
True.
So
Or
it could just be another thing to pay off Sid.
or it could be leading into a crosshair chase battle.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they've got a huge debt to Sid because they've been going on missions for her, as we found out, and they just have been getting paid a fraction of what she's getting paid. And then they find out
Literally a
that,
fraction.
and then they find out that she's just keeping a running tab of all the food and munitions and landing and repairs and
Yeah.
fuel. So they got that hanging over them too.
Yep. So it could just be a way to get out of debt for the next episode,
True.
or Crosshair.
No, I really think it's gonna be the Crosshair is going to come, and
If it's not on that episode, it'll be at the end of that episode
yeah,
in more of 9. So,
and then he's gonna start tracking them.
which isn't really his forte.
So we'll find out how it goes.
Yep, we'll find out.
I've got nothing much else to say.
I'm still so upset that my Imperial theory got thrown out the window. I'm so upset. I was really hoping
It
for
was because honestly, I was really looking forward to something to that extent,
Yeah.
where like, if anything, Crosshair met up, they got in a conflict, and during the middle of the fight, Wrecker just turned Imperial. So now you have both Crosshair and Wrecker, and you have to choose which one you want to subdue.
And you also got to deal with Crosshair's new Spec Ops unit that has no trigger discipline.
Fair
Wrecker
point.
and use him as a shield.
But yeah, so I mean that's all I got for right now.
One point is that Rex is contacting someone at the end of the episode. Some ally.
See, I don't know who that could be. It could be Ahsoka, but in the same
but
sense,
why
it could
would-
be the Resistance.
So yeah, I found this article on Screen Rant that says who it could be and why it's probably not Ahsoka.
Everyone hates Ahsoka really a lot.
I mean, she's really cool to an extent.
she gets
Essentially,
better
they're
as
just
she
saying
gets
it's not
older.
time yet.
Yes, especially she gets really cool. I've read a lot of or at least I've spoken with my cousin about the lore of Ahsoka after Order 66 and everything, and she gets pretty badass.
Yeah, no. Age comes with wisdom is definitely a key motto for her because when
Yes.
she's younger, yeah, she's annoying as hell. But
Well, she's what, 16 when you first 16,
yeah,
18?
16 or 17, yeah, by their years.
The main point of the article was essentially that it's not time yet. The Rebel Alliance doesn't start till much later. So he's probably just contacting someone.
Yeah, because this is
Wow.
right after the Rebel Alliance doesn't start for another, what, I think 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. So essentially, it's just too soon for him to be like talking to Ahsoka if it's with the Rebel Alliance. Because
I mean, he could be talking to Ahsoka because she is the one that quote unquote saved him.
She could.
Well, see, another thing with Final Season, they left together.
Exactly.
So it could be one of those things like they're still like in communications trying to get
trying to
sort of
fix
settled
or something. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of possibilities. They have a lot of paths they can go down. They got rid of a lot of the paths that they could have gone down with this episode, though. So who knows what's in for the future.
All right, then. We will wrap it up here for this analysis of the Bad Batch episodes 5, 6, and 7. And we will see you again in 2 more weeks for most likely episodes 8 and 9. We'll see what happens, whether we get that Crosshair showdown or it leads into it, or whether we see another old character come out. We'll see what they give us. So yeah, until then, we'll see you next time, and may the Force be with you.